Unmasking the chilling crimes of Lee Ki-young. Have you ever pondered the unfathomable depths of human motivation that can lead an individual to commit heinous crimes? Could a handsome face conceal the dark secrets of a serial killer or the charming facade of a K-pop idol? These questions echoed in the minds of many as the unsettling tale of Lee Ki-young, a 31-year-old con artist, unfolded, facing numerous charges related to the sudden disappearance of individuals with whom he had strained relationships. But the most pressing question on everyone's lips was, how many lives had he extinguished? The scene was set against the backdrop of Christmas in South Korea, a time of festive joy and celebration. However, for one unsuspecting woman, the holiday season took a horrifying turn when she found herself in her boyfriend's room. Her intention was simple: to care for the 3 cats and the dog that he adored. Little did she know that this visit would unravel a nightmarish truth. Welcome to Mystery Hour, where we peel back the layers of criminal cases, exploring the darkest corners of human behavior. Her boyfriend was conspicuously absent, prompting her to explore his empty residence. As she rummaged for pet food, her curiosity led her to the wardrobe tucked away in a corner. What she encountered when she opened that door left her frozen in terror. Inside the wardrobe sat the lifeless body of a man, his life cruelly snuffed out, his form hunched over in a gruesome tableau. This was the same man she had introduced to her parents, shared countless meals with, and cherished as her boyfriend during their joyful celebrations as a couple. The holiday spirit was shattered, replaced by an icy dread. Without hesitation, she reached for her phone, trembling as she dialed the police, uttering the chilling words, "There is a dead person in my boyfriend's wardrobe." This call initiated a relentless investigation that would plunge South Korea into the depths of a high-profile criminal case. The shocking discovery triggered a series of events, unveiling the harrowing Lee Ki-young taxi driver murder case that would soon grip the nation. On that fateful Christmas morning in 2022, Lee Ki-young's girlfriend embarked on a seemingly routine visit to her boyfriend's home. Little did she know that this visit would thrust her into a web of lies, deception, and horrifying crimes. Her boyfriend was nowhere to be found, and as she ventured through his vacant residence, her curiosity led her to that fateful wardrobe. As she gazed into the room, a heavy feeling of despair washed over her. Within, hidden from sight and devoid of life, rested the lifeless form of a man who had suffered a horrifying demise. This stark tableau stood in stark contrast to the joyful moments they had once shared as a couple, compelling her to take swift action. With urgency coursing through her veins, she dialed the police, initiating a chain of events that would ultimately expose a chilling revelation. The victim inside the wardrobe was identified as a missing taxi driver, and the pieces of this gruesome puzzle began to fall into place. The apartment belonged to Lee Ki-young, who now stood as the prime suspect in a murder case that had sent shockwaves across the nation. Witnesses recalled how Lee Ki-young had stumbled into an emergency room on that ill-fated Christmas day, his face marred by blood, recounting a tale of torture and survival. Yet, as the investigation deepened, it became clear that his injuries were not inflicted by unknown assailants. He was a masterful pathological liar, skilled in the art of deception. As the police delved further into the case, they uncovered a shocking truth. Lee Ki-young, the suspect arrested for the murder of the taxi driver, was also responsible for the killing of his cohabitant. The nation was left in disbelief as the horrifying details continued to emerge. The disturbing narrative began on December 20th, 2022, when Lee Ki-young joined his girlfriend's parents for a meal, accompanied by an excessive intake of alcohol. After the gathering, he carelessly took the wheel of a vehicle and collided with a taxi driven by a 60-year-old cab driver. Under false pretenses, he enticed the taxi driver to his apartment in Paju, enticing him with the promise of a substantial settlement and coverage for the repair expenses. However, within the confines of that dwelling, he committed a brutal act of murder, employing a blunt object to extinguish the taxi driver's life without mercy. Lee Ki-young's financial woes were evident, with meager cash and a dwindling bank balance. For 5 days, he concealed the lifeless body in his own wardrobe, while simultaneously engaging in fraudulent activities such as taking out loans in the taxi driver's name, draining the victim's bank account, and indulging in a lavish lifestyle funded by his criminal gains. These crimes might have remained concealed if not for the courage of Lee Ki-young's girlfriend, who reported the gruesome discovery. Lee Ki-young attempted to downplay the incidents, attributing them to an accidental outcome of a heated argument over money. However, the evidence painted a much grimmer picture. Born in 1991, Lee Ki-young had a history of troubled behavior, even during his time serving in the South Korean Army, where he received a dishonorable discharge and accumulated a series of legal infractions, including drunk driving and reckless driving incidents. But as the investigation persisted, even more chilling details came to light. It was revealed that this was not Lee Ki-young's first foray into murder. Before the taxi driver's killing, he had also taken the life of his ex-girlfriend and landlady, a woman in her 50s, in August. He had heartlessly abandoned her body by a riverside in Paju, a grim reflection of his cold-blooded nature. As the investigation continued to unfold, Lee Ki-young's intricate web of lies and deception began to unravel further. He had crafted an image of himself as a successful and affluent individual, yet it was all a facade. His lies had ensnared people, and he had even attempted to use the credit card of the deceased taxi driver to purchase alcohol for strangers while inquiring about their willingness to commit murder. Psychologists and criminal profilers stressed the necessity of dissecting his lies, highlighting the fact that both murders had transpired within the supposed safety of his own home. Lee Ki-young had expertly hidden the victims' bodies in secure locations, making it a formidable challenge for law enforcement to locate them. The search for Lee Ki-young's ex-girlfriend and landlord's remains proved to be an arduous and perplexing task. Lee Ki-young provided contradictory information about the disposal sites, leading to fruitless searches. The police went to great lengths, deploying excavators and search dogs in the areas he indicated, yet the bodies remained elusive. It seemed that Lee Ki-young was playing a dangerous game, further complicating the case. Lee briefly faced the press as he was transferred from the Ilsan Dongbu Police Agency in Goyang, northwest of Seoul, to the prosecution. Shrouded in a hood and a face mask, he uttered a somber apology. "I am sorry for the murders." His apology, however, did little to quell the anguish and anger of the victims' families. The police pressed multiple charges against Lee Ki-young, including robbery with homicide, concealment of dead bodies, theft, fraud, and violations of the Credit Finance Business Act for swindling the victims out of some 70 million won, approximately $50,000, by using their credit cards or taking loans under their names upon their deaths. On April 12, 2023, the prosecution sought the death penalty for Lee Ki-young. However, on May 19, 2023, the court handed down a sentence of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole for 30 years, coupled with an electronic tracking device to monitor his every move. This decision sparked protests from the families of the victims, who believed that justice could only be served with the ultimate penalty. The case of Lee Ki-young, the masterful liar and ruthless murderer, sent shockwaves rippling across the nation. It was a chilling tale of deception, brutality, and a relentless pursuit of financial gain that would haunt South Korea for years to come. As the search for Lee Ki-young's ex-girlfriend and landlord's remains continued, the quest for closure remained agonizingly elusive, leaving a deep and painful scar in the hearts of all those touched by this harrowing story. If you find our content enjoyable, kindly consider leaving a comment, giving the video a thumbs up, and sharing it with your friends. Your support is highly valued. Stay safe, stay informed, and we look forward to seeing you in the next installment of Mystery Hour.